Thanks, Riaz. Good morning. It is 6:30 on the dot. It looks like dismantling the Oppenheimer Park tent city will be a gradual process. Several tents are still up this morning. Greg Harper joins us live from the downtown east side with the latest. Greg?
Good morning, Jody. I just spoke to a man who has been living here for quite some time. He's packing up his stuff here this morning. He says he has found a place to go, but he says others haven't, that they have nowhere else to go, and he believes that some will refuse to leave. The court-imposed deadline for those who have been living here at Oppenheimer Park has come and gone. That was 10 p.m. last night. Lots of tents remain up, I would say maybe 100. According to the city, 20 people did voluntarily leave the camp yesterday and have been placed into shelters. Their belongings are being stored by the city, but many more remain inside Oppenheimer Park. The VPD arrived minutes after the deadline passed last night. Officers walked through the camp, but police are saying they don't want to arrest anybody and are hoping that campers will voluntarily comply with the court order.
We don't want to see any violence. We don't want to see this fall apart. We want to make sure people understand what options they have.
Why can't the city and the people that are so rich help out? Okay, alleviate this problem that you don't have it anymore. Greg Robertson says he wants to alleviate homelessness. Do it. Just do it.
Now, the Vancouver Police Department is here. They're at the north side of the park. The Vancouver Fire Department is here as well. The VPD says they do have a plan in place, but they're not saying what that plan is, and they're not saying how long it will take to clear the park out. Jody?
All right, thanks, Greg. Keep us posted. We'll check back with you in 30 minutes' time. Meanwhile, the death of a camper at the park is not considered suspicious and likely due to natural causes. The 69-year-old man's body was found inside a tent yesterday. It's believed he may have been dead for a number of days, with a copy of the city's injunction still on his tent.
I'm very disgusted right now. I mean, while we were fighting the injunction for that week, it kept coming up how VPD has spent over $100,000 patrolling this park. Well, if that's the case, then why wasn't that tent opened and see if anybody was in there to see if they were okay?
This tragedy certainly demonstrates why tent camps are not safe, why the city's had great concerns about this camp continuing to be there.
An autopsy will be done to determine the exact cause of death. BC's health minister says the Ebola risk remains very low in this province, but insists hospitals are prepared to respond to the virus. Terry Lake claims health authorities have put in place internationally accepted infection control systems that reflect those being used by experts around the globe. A coordinating committee is also being set up, and the BC Nurses Union wants a seat at that table.
It's the nurses on the front line that need the training. That's been our concern all along, that they've had committees and protocols and policies up the yin-yang, and they need to be filtered down to the front line. They need to be filtered down to the nurses working in emergency on night shift.
Importantly, we don't have a positive case here in Canada. Up until this point, we've had suspected cases. All have proven negative. So, of course, if we had a positive case here, we would look at making sure that we contained it as well as possible. And we would have to look, I think, at some of the restrictions that they're looking at in Dallas as well.
Okay, switching gears now. At first glance, it seems like bad driving, and maybe it is. But UBC is taking steps to curb a series of unexpected mishaps. In the last week and a half, 4 vehicles have gotten stuck trying to drive down the same stairway, 2 of them taxis. The university has installed pillars to warn drivers of the drop-off. No one has been hurt, but removing the cars has proven to be a challenge.
It is a bit of a puzzle why people, especially the particular staircase that's been on all the social media, why we've caught vehicles in that embarrassing situation where they've tried to scale the stairs.
Seems the drivers may have had trouble navigating the area with ongoing construction and more of the campus closed off for pedestrian use. Around 720,000 people in BC are set to take part in the Great BC Shakeout later this morning. The drill is aimed at helping individuals, organizations, and the government plan and prepare for a major earthquake. Insurers say a major shaker in Canada could cost the economy up to $75 billion. The event, encouraging you to drop, cover, and hold on, gets underway at exactly 10:16 this morning.
There have been a lot of steps that we've taken as a province to improve the communication, and that is one idea that is being talked about within the municipalities, is how can we get the messaging out to people to be prepared, to be on their own, because we can't support people, they have to do it themselves.